maybe in like 50 years, we'll be able to get one of these and we'll put a body on it and send it.
You are now watching Farming with Duffy Ag.
We're back. So last night, got back, it was dark, had no motivation, didn't work on nothing. Truck looks good though, you know, get a little water on it, cleans it up some. This morning, Bobby Seidel, who, well, once you're in the Mack world, it's a small world. There's a lot of really awesome people. So Bobby said, hey, call my buddy. So I called his buddy. His buddy goes, you should still be able to get that. He says, it's all the same gasket. He said a B model all the way up to E7s, and he says all the same. And I said, alrighty. He said, if you can't, give me a call. He said, I don't have one, but he goes, if you need anything else, give me a call. So I love old school Mack people because they're just like true blue collar Americans. Look at that. So I did call Ballard Mack in Tewksbury. I called Manchester last night because they're open later. They're open till 7. I think on weekdays they're open till midnight. I think that's really what it is. It might be 10 midnight. I don't know. But they're open till 7 on a Friday night. So called them. And the lady, she just didn't know. New parts people. That's a career I would not want to do as parts, but the good people are really, really good. So then I called Tewksbury and I said, hey, you have one? And he goes, I think they're all the same. He goes, yeah. And he goes, it says I got one. So I said, can you go grab it? And he said, yeah. He said, nope, I don't have it. He said, call Manchester, says they got one. So I had the part number at that point, called Manchester. The guy goes, yep, got one. And he says, went and grabbed it and everything. So we're gonna run up Manchester and grab that, and we're gonna have to drain the oil out. So this is getting a new oil change early, which it is what it is, and we're gonna work in the rain. So neither of these things I really enjoy. Maybe I'll get a tarp. It's like we're back to square one as far as creatures' comforts and work, but it's gonna get better. Okay, I did not realize previously you'd go down to this bottom shop, but it all got bought or merged or something, I don't know. So Mack's up on the hill, and I went in there, and the guys, I'm like, hey, how many of these trucks you got rolling around out here? And I knew this was coming. Here's a military Mack. He said they're in for warranty work, something about the steering they're fixing. They had a recall on them. Let's check it out. So he said these things are pretty friggin' rugged, which, yeah, they're all all-wheel drive or whatnot. That's pretty wild. All the hookups in the front. Hot damn. So he did say that none of these trucks have emissions because they're government, which that's how the government rolls. So no emissions on them, and he says it sounds like a real truck. Like, I can only imagine this thing all locked up, where it could go, what it could do. But he said he thought 6 of them were coming in here. Well, as I said, they got a recall on the steering. That's pretty wild. There's 4 doors. You can do different drops instead of regular grain doors. Hot damn, that's cool. Hot surface. Does the exhaust? Oh yeah, the exhaust does run through the body. Nice. Pretty freaking wild. Look at that. Yeah. Lock all 4 axles together, and I'm sure it will go a lot of places. Well, clearly you can tell it's an automatic, which is normal for nowadays. Gun rack in the middle and everything else, shelving, and That thing's sweet. I don't know if that's actually a gun light, but it's got the holders. Well, he says it sounds like a real truck when it should, which is pretty wild. Maybe in like 50 years we'll be able to get one of these and we'll put a body on it and send it. You know, government surplus. Like I said previously, Mack did announce that they were doing those not that long ago, so it's interesting to see one there. But I guess that's the coolest thing on this lot. I'll do a drive-through, but yeah, there ain't much else coolness here. No, there's really nothing. You know, usually the older trucks, they don't go to the dealership. They do them in-house. At least around here, a lot of the older construction operations, they if they're a Mack fanatic, they do a lot of restores in-house or have specialty guys that do them. Alrighty, let's get out of here. Well, we're back to working in God's shop outside here with minimal tools, but I gotta get this truck back to where good place as far as not leaking oil. Got the gasket. Yeah, I could get it online for like 60 bucks. It'll be here by the end of the week, but I hate sitting around. So Mack's $130 for this gasket, which a lot of people are going to say make it, blah blah blah. Yeah, but we got to drain the oil. I did stop and get oil, and they did have another 5 gallons of Rotella hydraulic oil, so I grabbed that because it's always good to have. So Tractor Supply is the only place that I can ever find that Rotella at. But we'll get the oil drained out, we'll get the pan off, new gasket, pan back on, clean things up, and then we just got to do those lines for power steering, which they're not the worst lines, but they're not good. So this is, I didn't get to show you guys yesterday, but as you see, it's wet down through the back. It's wet on the exhaust. The frame rail's all wet. That's wet. Here's wet. Rear main seal's actually dry up in there, but all down the side. Well, now you guys are upside down. Sorry about that. All down the side of this is all just soaked, and the only thing relates to it is that it's blown out of the seal there. So we'll just drop the pan, do that, get it back on. So yeah, you can see how oil soaked everything is. This line needs to be replaced, no doubt about it. That's the feed line into the power steering pump right here. That's the compressor in between. But all this wet stuff, I do believe, is all from, because it's just odd. It all goes up the side of the motor, so as the driving, it blows across and blows it everywhere. And if any of these lines were actually bad, like leaking, that would just mean we'd run out of power steering, because they do not actually cross over. So I did run into an issue though. So you take this cover off, and right there you can see that's an Allen wrench head. I do not have any long Allen, well, I don't have any Allen wrench sockets with me. That's annoying. We are gonna run over to see Frank, and well, hopefully he's got a set we can borrow, so that's my plan. So yes, I do have my own set of Allen wrenches, but Allen wrench sockets, they're not as impressive as Frank's set of Allen wrench sockets though. Whew. Do quite so. Yeah, Frank's got all the tools, but I cannot go get my set, so that is why I am utilizing his. And they're gonna be, I believe it's this one. It's gonna be real nice because it's a long one. Go right up in, makes it nice and easy. It's amazing when you have the right tool for the job, how much easier it is. So that long one, yeah, makes all the difference in the world. So 2 bolts here, and I got 2 left in, I think, just holding it. Hopefully, it looks like that's really what the issue is. Like it's blowing out, and as we're going down the road, it's getting splashed all up and everywhere. Only thing that explains it, for the amount of oil that I'm losing in a short period. Okay, there's one. Now for the other. That explains a lot. Okay. So somebody put this oil pan on at some point, and there's no actual gasket. They used gasket maker. They didn't actually use a gasket. That explains it. Oh yeah, you can see how it leaked out on the side. You can see all the spots. Well, that's cool. So we gotta scrape all that off. But yeah, there's no actual gasket. Explains a lot now. We gotta pull it down in the front. Oh, there we go. It's coming out. I don't believe there's a gasket. We'll see in a minute. Ooh-wee. Look at all that. Alrighty, so sorry about the lighting or how the quality is. I'm laying underneath here with grease, but that looks really, really good. First time I've ever had a pan off a Mack motor, to be honest. But everything is there. Everything looks really good. But you can see there's no, so they used a silicone gasket maker or whatnot. There's no actual gasket. So that is why you come over here and it looks like it's been leaking out the side right there and whatnot. Probably just blown out. Okay, so I got the pan out. We went through quite a bit of razor blades. The second they get dull, they're just hard to work with. Yeah, people walk by and Yanko's like, exactly. One lady did stop and she was like, is that blue healer? Yanko was like, oh my god, oh my god. So there was a gasket on this pan, as you guys can see. Not much of a gasket at all, but I did get it all off. So just got to clean this up, clean up down at the bottom. Somebody put silicone on the top, so this pan came off. Somebody saw it and said, oh, I'll just silicone it, slap it back up. So that explains a lot of why it leaked out of one side. So $130, bud. Whoever had this previously, whoever did this previously, should have done what? Should have just done it. Okay? It did take me like an hour to get all that off and clean it up. We went through all these razor blades, but I ordered a whole box of razor blades because I ordered a whole scraper tool. So the scraper tool is, well, it's in my hoop building, but so I only stabbed myself once and we're okay. We're getting through it. Let me scrape the bottom of the motor of the block and throw the gasket on. We'll just put a little bit of silicone sealant gasket maker just to hold it in place while we get it up, because, well, it's just me and hey it's just me and Mr. No Thumbs over here, so he can't grab on and do the screws. You having a good day? Having a good Saturday? Yeah. Do you like hanging out here? Because when we're at the house, you can wander around and there's a dog every like 4 minutes that you can go over, sniff, growl, do whatever you want. Do you want us to give you a belly rub? I'll give you a belly rub if that's what you want. If that's what you want in life. Oh, everybody wants to give you a belly rub. Yeah. You're a good boy, Yanko. You are a good boy. Thanks for being my shop rag. Alrighty, we gotta keep going. Got the pan back in there. We just gotta slide back out of here. Yeah, plenty of room. Someday I'm gonna have a pit to work in. That'll make cleaning these things, working on things so much better. Well, alrighty, let me fill it up with oil. Got everything back in, filled the oil back up. Rotella, just saying, I love Rotella. I know there's plenty of other brands out there, well, a few other brands that are worth anything. I need the key. And we'll start it, make sure we build oil pressure. We do have to do some blocking off. And I got that aluminum housing that I got to tap. And we're gonna see if we can fix this housing all said and done. Which that's the inlet that pulls the air out of the cleaned air. So filtered air that pulls it in to build air pressure. So I also have all these razor blades that I gotta get rid of. So a little bit of work to do here, but we'll get it started in a second and make sure it builds pressure. And then I'll get this tool set back to Frank because I told him I'd have it back by today. I don't blame him. I still have his axle nuts that are they're not in my possession right now. So he's been asking for those, and well, yeah. Oil pressure. Okay. This thing starts right up. That is a plus. You did a good job. You worked your thumbs really, really, really good. You want to go back to Frank's? We got to drop that box back off. So, no leaks as of now, but prior I really couldn't see any leaks. It was when you were running it and things were coming down the side, and yeah, put 800 miles on it and it leaked. So, but that pan gasket that I took off was absolutely junk. So, alrighty, I gotta jump back over, drop Frank's tools back off to him. I guess tomorrow we'll dive into a little bit more, maybe get the mud flaps on. Yeah, mud flaps, plugs, caps, windshield wiper. Keep forgetting that, but appreciate you guys watching along, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good one.